session is going on YouTube. That is on the channel of ours, English Medium, JAIIB CAIIB. There, all of you who have joined us, I would recommend them to see this particular video for approximately 10 minutes. And after that, you can enjoy the entire lecture after you switch from the YouTube to our application or the web portal by simply by logging in. So initial 10 minutes will be there on the YouTube as well. After that, if you find the lecture engaging, which I know you will, you must switch towards the application of Adda 247 or the website, that is Adda 247, and there you can directly access the entire lecture of 1 hour. Fine. So let's shift our focus towards the economic planning. What is the concept of economic planning? Why economic planning? Along with that, what do we mean by NITI Aayog? All these things we'll be studying in this particular lecture. So let's get started. This is the unit number 3rd. If we talk about the relevance of this particular unit, in the past 2 or 3 cycles, we have seen that good amount of questions were asked from this particular unit, that is unit number 3. What kind of questions were asked? First of all, the direct statement-based questions were asked. No analytical statements were there. Second type of questions were there, which were only single-liner, one-liner questions were also asked. So whether we should be applying some logic while studying this chapter or we should try to cram certain data points, I would say that the second way would be a better one, because here there are n number of data points which are relevant for our examination. What is the name of the chapter? Again, I would like to inform you, that is Economic Planning in India and NITI Aayog. This particular topic of NITI Aayog is holding its relevance like anything. Fine. In the last examination cycle, which was held in May 2025 itself, can you imagine what kind of question was asked? What is the full form of NITI Aayog? This question was asked for 1 mark. So you cannot ignore even the basic details like this. Along with that, in the NITI Aayog, let's just continue the discussion with NITI Aayog only. The composition, that who leads this particular entity of NITI Aayog, what all members are there, what is the difference between the full-time members, what is the executive council, the basic structure of NITI Aayog you must know, and questions have been asked from this particular topic. Switching on to the economic planning part, when we talk about the economic planning, its definition is necessary to start our discussion. So we will be defining what do we mean by the economic planning and who has defined it in the past. So Mr. Dickinson has given a wonderful definition when it comes to the economic planning. And what is the definition of planning in Indian context? That we must know, because it is different from the other world's perspective. Next is the types of planning. There are basically 2 types of plans. We will be seeing them. And along with that, not only the types, you must remember that who promulgated which type of plan. So the country's name are very, very important here. After that, we'll be switching our focus towards the objective of economic planning in India. Indian context is highly important, because as I have just told you, that various types of planning are there, and in Indian context it is different as compared to the other world. So what is the objective? Why we are following a different path when it comes to economic planning? That we must understand. Then we have history of economic planning in India, and by history we mean the 12 5-year plans. There were 5-year plans throughout, you can say post-independence till 2011, 12 and 17 also. But what is the number of those plans? They were 12 in number. So all these plans are very important. What was the basic objective of Government of India while following these plans? Whether we were able to meet the targets or not, and what was the actual outcome from all these 5-year plans? Everything is very important. After that, you will find in the book itself the assessment of 5-year plan performance. Now here, you can say that this particular topic, the 5th subtopic, if you are studying on your own, it is not that important. Fine, because direct theory is involved, and you can say mental mapping has been provided by various economists, and a basic, you can say, a verbatim conversation is there that whether planning commission was able to gauge the importance of economic planning in Indian context or not. So it is not that important as compared to the earlier 4 topics. Then we'll be switching our focus to NITI Aayog, that is National Institution for Transforming India. Finally, the financial resources. For planning in India, we need certain funds. From where do government gets those funds? all this will be discussing here. Basically, there are three types of sources. One is the domestic budgetary source. A maximum portion is, you can say, dedicated to taxation. Then we have deficit financing via three major sources. Government of India participates, or you can say, negate this deficit of the budget via your, you can say, borrowings from the public, borrowing from the foreign governments. Along with that, RBI direct borrowing and the cash balance from the RBI. So these are the three major sources of deficit financing when we talk about the financial resources in our country. The third one is the foreign assistance. So this is a basic overview. The agenda is being set via these 7 subtopics, out of which only 6 are highly important. One you can ignore, or you should not pay much attention to the 5th topic. I hope that till here everything is fine. For all of you who are watching this on YouTube, just give me a heads up whether you have understood the overview or not. Fine. Okay, so now let's switch our focus towards the economic planning basic definition. As I just told you, economist H.D. Dickinson, a British economist, basically, he defined economic planning via a very crystal clear definition that who all is involved in planning, for whom the planning is being done, and how the planning will be done finally. So, Mr. Dickinson will define the planning as the making of major economic decisions of what and how much is to be produced. So, first level will be the production. Always remember, when we talk about any economy, we talk about the production level. So, what kind of production should be there and how much should be produced? That is the first caveat in this particular definition by H.D. Dickinson. To whom it is to be allocated. So, production is okay. Now, who will consume this? The consumption levels will come from here by the conscious decision of a determinate authority. Who will define this consumption pattern, or who will study this consumption pattern for the betterment of its citizen? The governments. Fine. So all the parties, the business entities or the industries being the production level head, then consumption by the consumers, and finally government will chip in as a determinate authority on the basis of comprehensive survey of the economic system as a whole. So I hope that this basic definition is clear, which will encircle all the important components of an economy. Fine. So as I told you in the initial beginning of this particular lecture, that this particular video will be streamed on YouTube live for initial 10 minutes. Now we will be switching towards the application only. So all of you who are watching this session on YouTube, I would highly recommend to switch towards Adda 247 app or the web portal of Adda 247. Therein, just log in the respective app or the web portal and you can enjoy the remaining lecture. Fine. So let's continue with the NPC's definition of economy.